Hello, my name is Pattie Martin Macurdy, and my only book is titled Sunsets and Buzzards. The odd title will be explained later. This is a collection of stories about my long life. I was born on the day of the stock market crash in 1929. My readers are intrigued by my growing up on a farm in Tennessee without electricity, without indoor plumbing, and without telephone service. Our social life revolved around a one-room Methodist church and a one-room country school and some Sunday local baseball games. In 1933, my parents got their name on the social page of the Stewart County Times for having a rat-killing party. I was 3 at the time, so I don't remember it, but according to the article in the newspaper, I was an attendee. There's one story about my unexpected marriage to an Air Force fighter pilot in Logtown, Mississippi. One story is about traveling to Japan on a cargo passenger ship and surviving a typhoon while my husband was flying combat in Korea. Other stories occurred in Spain, where we lived for 3 years. If you read my book, you will find out what it's like to be in Ava Gardner's shoe closet in her elegant apartment in Madrid. My life had its tragedies, and they are included along with all the warts. The book is authentic and very relatable. You will hear what I think about politics, religion, marriage, and men. I documented my aging process and how to find the humor in it, particularly when it comes to elderly romance. The title, Sunsets and Buzzards, has to do with elderly romance. For $4.99, you can own this as an ebook, or you can buy it as a paperback or hardcover from Amazon and keep it by your bedside as bedtime reading for entertainment, relaxation, and laughs. I hope you'll check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. I'm going to read now one of my stories from the book, which will take another 5 or 6 minutes. Self-actualization through writing. Psychology students will remember Abraham Maslow's theory of self-actualization. Maslow believed human physiological needs, such as oxygen, food, and water, must be met first before the need for safety and security. Next comes the need for love and belonging to community. Then self-esteem or pride in achievements can be addressed. Once these 4 lower levels are achieved, a person can move on to the top of Maslow's pyramid of human needs. Uppermost is self-actualization, or becoming one's best self by developing one's full potential. I was introduced to this theory during my middle age while taking courses at a local community college near Sarasota. My classmates were in their 20s, while I was in my late 40s. I was fascinated by the idea of being fully actualized, which seemed unachievable. As just a housewife in an unhappy marriage, I knew I was not functioning anywhere near my full potential. I remember asking the instructor if he'd ever known anyone who was fully actualized. He seemed nonplussed by the question. Several years later, in 1985, I was new in Gainesville and taking adult education courses for entertainment. In one course, each student was given the task of creating a personal mission statement. After some thought, I came up with a simple goal: to be myself and to know that is enough. Knowing that was enough allowed me to be unstressed for my remaining years. That is, I am who I am, a Tennessee farm girl who did well in school and likes lifetime learning. I am not trying to be anything else, just my authentic self. The idea was liberating. As a painfully shy child, I grew up with virtually no self-confidence, modeling a mother who, to avoid showing her ignorance, never spoke up. As I became older, I found my voice through writing. Abraham Maslow would be pleased that I finally made it to the top of his pyramid of human needs. My grandchildren were quite impressed and pleased when I helped my husband write his World War II missing in action story. In 1944, at age 21, he was shot down in his P-47 behind German lines. With the help of Belgian and French families, he evaded the capture, living for 8 months in the woods with other ragtag escapees of varying ethnicity. My grandchildren encouraged me to write other family history, and I did. As an additional writing challenge, I joined the Writers Alliance of Gainesville, WAG, on my 86th birthday. I enrolled in a Santa Fe Community College adult education course called Writing Your Memoir, taught by WAG member Susie Baxter. When asked why I wanted to write my memoir, I answered that I wanted my life to count for something. It seemed that up to that point, everything had always been about my husband's daring and colorful life. I started to write more of my own stories and found they did count for something. My readers were intrigued by descriptions of life on a farm with no electricity or indoor plumbing, and there were accounts of losing a brother in World War II and a son to HIV. Plus, there were tales of living at various places around the world as wife of an Air Force fighter pilot. Readers found the stories amusing and sometimes heartbreaking. I was encouraged. I began to see that my life did count. People seemed to get something, perhaps even occasional wisdom from my writing. As Maslow posited, with my basic needs met, a home I love, in a safe neighborhood, a comfortable amount of money, surrounded by loving friends and family, I am free to enjoy the luxury of self-actualization through writing. At least one WAG member agrees, proclaiming writing is self-actualization. I hope you enjoy the festival.